Oh, well, good morning, everybody. This is video 2 of the kerosene stove. This stove here runs on a blend, kerosene blend. It started right here with this turbo torch. Right here is a turbo torch, and the turbo torch is how you start this thing. And this is it right here. I would recommend a long hose to the tank. So if you have a leaky tank, you don't catch anything on fire here. So what you want to do is go and get the turbo torch out. And I'm going to show you what it looks like inside here. This is a cast iron pipe. It's about 1.5 feet tall. Was it about 4 inches in diameter? What I did was I drilled a hole on the side of about 3/4 of it, I would say about 6 inches up from the bottom, so I could stick the pipe, copper pipe, through the hole of the 55-gallon drum right here. And what I did was I drilled about 1 inch from the bottom a bunch of 1/4 inch holes, spaced about 1 inch apart, all the way at the bottom of the cast iron pipe. Right up in here, I have a reducer from 4 to 6 that fits over the top of the pipe, and it's hard to see, but there's a reducer here. And then from the top of the reducer, I've got a pipe here, and I think this is what, 3 or 4 inches, and I just fired it up. And what I did was I started with the turbo torch, and if you can see that little hole there, and you can hear it roaring, I just got the kerosene pump running, and as you can see, it's still wet. It's early in the morning. You're just dripping fuel oil through, or the blend actually, through the pipe, down through the tube, and it's going into the cast iron pipe, which has 6 lava rock inside the cast iron pipe. And then what I did is I just put lava rock around the pipe itself. Now, the cast iron pipe sits on top of a cast iron frying pan, which I cut the handle off. On the bottom of the cast iron pan, there is a wok, a round wok, and then on the bottom of that is a 4-inch slab of cinder block, 4 inch thick. Was it 6 by 12, something like that? And why I did that was, here up north, when you have snow, if you had this outside, the water wouldn't affect the bottom of the pan. It would be up in the air. But this is going in the greenhouse, so that's the stove. And right here is the magic behind it all, is this kerosene pump. Actually, all it is a fish pump with a silicone hose. And I fit this in here because the other day it was raining, and I had to cover it up. And I had run it in the rain, so I put that cover on it. And I've got the hose, and if you want to see what the pump looks like, the pump is in here, and this is what the pump looks like. It's just a brass fitting I made, and that fits down into the, oops, Okay, that fits down in, oops, come apart. And that just fits down in. I could put a little clamp on there to hold it on, would be good. And that just fits down in here like this. At the bottom. There she goes again. Sorry about that. Put a little clamp on that would be fine. So, right here, she fired up again. You can hear a roar. And right there, as you can see, the fuel coming up the tube. Now, I'm going to pull this tube out and just show you how much this baby uses. I'm going to pull it out. Okay, now, there you go. Can you see that? Just dripping. Let's put it back in here. There she goes. Okay. Now, the tank's getting a little low here. Okay, there she goes. There she goes. There she goes. When I pulled it out, the tank's getting a little low. There she goes. You can hear it. Okay. He's good. Okay, so you can see it just going up there very slowly. And I'm going to pull this back out again, because when I pulled it out, it probably came off the bottom of the gallon container and you couldn't see it dripping, but she's only a little bit coming out of there. Come on, baby. Well, anyways, there she goes. Sometimes you got to give it a little wiggle on the bottom to get it going. You give it a little wiggle on the bottom to get it going. There she goes. There she goes. Hear it? Okay, so if I pull this out real quick again, she stopped. Okay. There she goes again. See, she's low to tank, and I have to put some more in. But anyways, you get the idea. Very little bit going down through that tube. Okay, so we can do now. We'll show you here. He's bubbling away down there. The little hole down there is what I use to, when I start it up, I run the turbo torch down that little hole. Okay, so at night, and this isn't at night obviously, but at night you can see the cast iron pipe glow pretty good. Okay, so we're gonna close this up. As you can see, there's no smoke in here at all. When you start it, there's a little smoke coming out, but after about 5 minutes, there's no smoke, and she draws really good. So okay, so I'm gonna close this door, and on this stove right here, I have a heat exchanger, which is a garbage can. Okay, now what I have here is down below, and you can't see it, but down below, coming through the 55-gallon drum, I have a rope with a stainless steel clamp around it, and the rope is the type of rope you use on wood stoves. It's that ceiling rope that you put around the door. Okay, so that's the stove. It's not painted. It's been sitting around because I couldn't figure out how to do this for the longest time, and I gave up on the project. I just started this back up again. But anyways, I'm going to come around here, and we're going to take a look and see what kind of temperature we have in the stack. I'm going to bring the ladder around. I'll get up on the ladder and you can see what we got here. Okay, so right now we're at about, that's a crack meter, 250 maybe, or 210, somewhere around there, coming up the stack. Now you really want to get this going really good is when you fill up the reservoir, and it pumps, instead of 2 drops every second or a drop every second, whatever it's going up there, you'll do maybe 3 drops a second when the tank is filled. And when the tank is filled, she goes up to somewhere in the neighborhood of maybe 600 to 800 temperature, 600 or 800 degrees. So that is the kerosene stove with this baby right here that pumps it. You're looking at it right here. This is the brains of the unit here. Right here. This is the baby right here. Okay. That's it. Maybe we're talking about 3 watts of power. So what's it, about a nickel a day in electricity in 24 hours maybe? And I picked this up. I put this on here. Oops. There you go. That's what it is. That's all it is. See it? That's all it is. Just a couple drops. I'll feed this down in here like this, and there she goes. There you go. So, being that it's up a little higher, going into the tube, we're probably pushing just a little more in because you'll have a better gravity flow, and within like a drop or two more. Okay, so now you're probably wondering how long this thing runs on a gallon of kerosene blend. All right, so how about 6 hours? Yeah, talk about 6 hours on this baby. Anywhere from 6 to 8 on a gallon. All right, we're gonna come back up here now. All right. Now, since I raised the gallon container, we're pumping a couple more drops into the kerosene stove. Okay, so now, and this meter's cracked, and I'm sorry about that.